Well, good morning, quirky birders, and welcome to episode 4 of your daily art challenge. I hope you found this process a little bit easier and a little bit more relaxing than the Café du Paris challenge that we had a couple of weeks ago. I really do like this little whimsical painting, and it really is very, very sweet indeed to do. So we will continue along. Now I'm just going to start by adding in now some additional details to our little painting, and I'm actually going to be using just a little size 1 brush, so something very, very fine. And to begin with, we're going to be putting in some little extra shading on the roof of our little cottages here. So I'm just going to take up a little bit of the blue and just down one side only of your little cottage, keeping it nice and loose, just paint in just that little bit of shading. And just doing this just allows that painting to appear less flat. And just gives it that little bit of extra definition. So we'll just take a little line across that ridge line of that little cottage roof. Like so. And we need to repeat the process over on the roof of this little cottage. So just being careful around those trees, you don't want the blue going into the trees. And like I say, don't completely fill the entire space, you're just putting in just that little, just a little touch of shading, that's all you're doing. We're just going to make this one just that little bit stronger. Lovely. That's better. Okay. So once you've done your little roofs, you can then take up the same light pale green that you did this little bushes down here and do the same again on your little bushes. So you're not going to be painting all of your bush, all of the bushes. Just keep that nice and loose as you're just applying that lovely glaze. And just allow that pale green to come through. So you can be a little bit heavier in places. And then we need to do the same with our little bushes that are just along the edge of this road here. Only this time I'm actually using a darker green. And then we can do the same for our little trees. So again, just putting on some of the tonal green colour and just work just down one side. And the same again on the other one. And then still just using this size 1 brush, we're going to do the same process again and just put in a little bit of glazing on this little tree. And just pay particular attention just to that lovely shaped edge. It's where we want the shading to be. And then it comes to the ochre colour on our little houses. So we've painted a lovely sort of peach fleshy colour, and the glazing that I'm doing on the little houses is going to be in a lovely yellow ochre. Like I say, you don't need to do the entire wall, just do a proportion of it. And the same goes for the side of the building as well. Just allow that lovely fleshy tone to come through. Like so. And then for the little house here that's adjacent to the little ochre tree, we need to use a different colour. So the colour that I'm going to use for this one is just a very, very pale orange. So I'll just take off the excess and just then do similar process. And then the trees that we've actually got on our little hills, we can just apply just a small piece of, a little bit of shading just down one edge. You don't need too much on these ones. There we go. And then we also need to do the same with our little bunnies. We can just put a little bit of glazing onto our little bunnies, just to give that lovely texture on their fur. So I'm just going to come round, and again just do one side and one ear. And if you feel that that's just too dark, then just use a wet brush and you can just then soften that up ever so slightly. They're looking very cute now. Okay. Now the next things that we need to be doing is putting in some of the little stems for our little seed heads. So I'm going to use some of the brown, and again just keeping with my little size 1 brush. All I'm going to do is just very, very gently just draw on those little seed heads and the little basket. Like so. And using that same brown, just work on the other side. So we'll just put in these little stems this side. Like so. Now on these ones, what's quite nice is to just put a couple of little stems. So we'll come off with some little, just paint some little branches coming off. And then you want to just do some little red berries. So again, just using that size 1 brush, just dot some little red dots into your little seed heads. And again on the other one. And then, like I say, we will actually add the details in using an ink pen, so these will really begin to sort of come to life. If you've got too much paint down, then just use a drier brush. We'll put some little berries dotted around this one. Along the little stems. Just put some 3 little dots on the other little ones. And then to link the red that we've got going on in the foreground with the little cottages, I'm just going to just put a light little red door. Like so. And then we can just do just a hint of some little curtains, again just in that red. And then just the last one here on the bottom. I'll just put a little purple curtain on this little window here. Oops. There we go. Okay. So that is pretty much it as far as the painting is concerned. The only thing left to do is to just put a little bit of a shadow under our little bunny's bottoms. So you're just going to put a little bit of the grey under their bottoms. And the same with the robin, just a little bit under his little feet, nothing too much. So that's it as far as the painting process is concerned. What we now need to do is just let that dry, and then we can put in our little ink detailing. But for today, that is pretty much it. So, as I've said all week, just take your time. Think about the paint and how that's moving. Think about the lovely glazing process and how you can add just that little bit more depth to your painting. Concentrate on the foreground by adding in that pop of colour with the little bunnies and the red berries. And I shall see you tomorrow, where we will be finishing off our painting and completing it with the ink detailing. Enjoy your day. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to message me, and I will speak to you tomorrow. Goodbye.